gosh. Right. Let's do... What is that? Ugh. Ew. Is that gum? Oh my god, it is gum! And there's a Canadian coin. Oh my god! I just found a piece of Hubba Bubba with a Canadian coin in it, which I actually got from the airport in Toronto. Yeah, I haven't worn these trousers since I wore them. Ew, there's bubble gum in my pockets. Gross. How's that for an introduction? Alright, let's do this. Hey up guys, so getting back to my TIFF coverage. Yep, that's right, I'm still talking about the movies I saw at TIFF, just back in the UK now. Today's movie I'm going to be discussing is the historical epic from Gina Prince-Bythewood called The Woman King. Woman, let me be your woman. Wooma, wooma, wooma. Now that I think about it, it's a little weird that Doja Cat wrote a song for Elvis, but not for the Woman King. No, actually, it makes perfect sense why she'd show up in a Baz Luhrmann film and not a historical epic. Because Baz is Baz. He's all about getting some pop stars in his soundtrack. But I digress. The Woman King was a major crowd pleaser at TIFF. Everybody loved this film. Everybody was talking about it. There was a real buzz in the air surrounding this film. Sadly, I didn't get to watch The Woman King until like the last day of the festival for me, so my anticipations were quite high from all the chit-chat surrounding it, and I was a little bit nervous that it wasn't going to live up to those expectations. But nope, The Woman King slays. It's based on historical events, but I'll be honest, I have zero knowledge on the history of this African tribe of female warriors, and I can't really tell you if the movie is honorable to history, because that's just, I don't have the information, I don't have the knowledge, I'm very uninformed about this subject, so yeah, I can only judge the film as a moviegoer and if I enjoyed it or not, so that's what my review is. It's not going to be a critique of how accurate it is to historical information, so yeah. Did I enjoy this? Hells yes! The film is set in early 19th century Western Africa in the Kingdom of Dahomey and follows a group of fierce female warriors called the Agudjie who protect the Kingdom of Dahomey. Apologies if there's any little mispronunciations there. I've heard different pronunciations on the internet, so I'm not sure which one is the right one. The Agudjie are led by a fierce Naniska who's played by Viola Davis. I thought Viola Davis was going to be our central character in The Woman King, and she kind of is, but there's also an outstanding performance from Thuso Mbedu, who plays an aspiring Agudjie soldier called Nawi. It's just as much Thuso's film as it is Viola's, I'd say. The Oscars are currently campaigning Viola as lead actress and Thuso as supporting, but I think they're both co-leads. The narrative is divided between Viola Davis and Thuso Mbedu, so it's part historical epic as well as a coming-of-age story for Thuso's character Nawi. The Woman King is the definition of a crowd pleaser. We don't actually get a whole lot of movies like The Woman King these days. These big budget, studio funded, historical epics of a lot of action. The last major one that we got was Ridley Scott's The Last Duel, and that tanked at the box office, and that was arguably one of the best films of the year, and barely anybody saw it in a cinema. That's why I'm imploring you now to go see this film in the cinema. By supporting these movies at the cinema, you're telling the makers of those movies that you want to see more movies like this. And we do need more movies like The Woman King and The Last Duel and Gladiator. They're very rare to see these days, and I don't want to let that part of cinema die, otherwise all we're going to get to see at the cinema in the future is sequels to franchise movies, remakes, and reboots. But I'm not just saying this, The Woman King is absolutely worth watching on the big screen. This movie truly lives up to the word epic. It's epic in all caps. Viola Davis's entrance alone gave me chills, but the movie itself just looks stunning and it all feels cohesive. The cinematography, the camera movements, the action choreography, the sets, costumes, props, sound, the score, it all just harmonizes together gorgeously. My only criticism of the film is that, as a piece of storytelling, it is pretty conventional and formulaic with its structure. Like, it follows a very familiar narrative that we've seen done before. It hits all the beats you expect it to hit, and there are a couple of reveals that you do see coming a mile away. But having said all that, even though the narrative was pretty conventional, I didn't mind so much because the execution of it was just so damn good. Gina Prince-Bythewood does a wonderful job of directing. She keeps the film moving at a swift pace. The characters are well written. There's an emotional core to the story. I found myself getting emotional on more than one occasion watching this. Like, it's great to have fun action sequences, but if I don't care about the characters, then what's the point? But thankfully in this movie, I was really invested in the characters. Viola Davis, I mean, do I really need to go into another gushy rant about why this is another amazing Viola Davis? I mean, just saying the word Viola Davis is an assurance of quality these days. This may be the woman king, but Viola Davis is my queen. When she commits to a role, she commits to a role, and she really packed on some muscle in order to play this part. Viola Davis is in her 50s now, and she looked so hinged in this movie. Thuso Mbedu also is gloriously good in this. She goes toe-to-toe with Viola Davis and completely holds her own. Keep an eye out for Thuso Mbedu, she is going places. There's also stellar work from Lashanna Lynch, Boyega and Sheila Atim. The casting for this film is so strong. Like, I can see the cast for this film getting a SAG Ensemble nomination. As for its Oscar nomination chances, The Woman King is one of those films where collectively everything about it is good, but is anything about it great to the point where it will get an Oscar nomination? I'm not so sure, because I could see The Woman King being a film which gets heavily nominated, but I can also see it like only getting a handful of nominations. I could see it getting into Best Picture, especially if it does end up getting a SAG Ensemble nomination. That would be a good indicator that it will get into Best Picture, because this is a crowd pleaser. I don't see a directing nom for Gina Prince-Bythewood, sadly, but acting? Viola Davis isn't out of the question, because the Academy loves Viola Davis, but it's such a stacked year for Best Actress this year, and I'm just not sure if Viola Davis will make the cut against other people like Michelle Yeoh and Olivia Colman, Cate Blanchett, and Daniel Deadwyler as well. Like, it's a very tough year this year. Is Viola's performance in this going to be enough to get in? Maybe. I don't think I could see Thuso Mbedu getting in. Maybe it's because she's a new breakout star and the fact that she is a leading character being put into the supporting race, but for some reason I just don't see her getting the nomination this year. But yes, she would be deserving of a nomination, and I'd be happy to see her get one. I think Gersha Phillips stands a good chance of getting nominated for costume design. Like, her costumes are so detailed and exquisite. I also love the score by Terence Blanchard. I love how he fused together like African tribal music with a very modern, epic, cinematic score. So yeah, it's a lovely hybrid, and Terence Blanchard did get into Best Score for Divide Blood, so I think he could show up here. But yes, The Woman King could get a lot of love from the Academy, or it could get very little. We have to see how the race goes, but I am expecting it to get at least a couple of nominations. My best guess would be Costume Design and Best Picture, maybe Hair and Makeup or Score, and maybe Viola Davis for acting. So it's time to ask the 3 questions. Firstly, would I watch this again? Definitely. The Woman King is very rewatchable. Can't wait to watch it again. And yes, it will definitely be added to the wall at some point. Question 2, do I recommend it for you guys? Oh, for sure. The Woman King is such an easy sell for me. It's a crowd pleaser, okay? It's well paced, it's beautifully shot, the performances are fantastic. It's action packed, like it's got the spectacle you would expect from a film like this, but not at the cost of characters you care about and emotional stakes. This really is a big screen movie, so do go watch it at a cinema. Like, you'll have such a blast watching this film. You'll gawp, you'll laugh, you'll cheer, you'll be thrilled. You may even shed a tear. So yes, I highly recommend The Woman King for everyone. And third question, what score to give it out of 10? It may be a little conventional narrative-wise, but I'm more forgiving of that when it's this well put together. Like, the film really does shine in every department. I was gonna give it a 9 because of the slight issue I had with the script, but I do kind of think it is a movie everyone should see once before they die. So, and I don't really give that out to movies unless it's a 10 out of 10. Can I do that? Can I say it's a movie you can see before you die and still give it a 9? You know what? Yeah, I'm just gonna say that. It's a 9 out of 10 for me, but I do think it is a movie everyone should watch at least once before they die. You're witnessing history right here, folks, because it's the first time I've given a 9 out of 10 that classification. That you need to watch this film. Yeah, a film can have a minor flaw and still be a movie you need to see before you die. It's happened. That is a first ever on my channel, so you just bear witness to that. But as always, guys, that's just one bloke's opinion. I do want to hear your thoughts on The Woman King. What would you give it out of 10? Do you think this movie's going to get some Oscar nominations? If so, in what categories? Whatever you have to say about this film, let your voice be heard in that comment section down below. If you have enjoyed the video, help the channel out by hitting that little thumbs up button. If you want more movie, TV, and Oscars related content, don't forget to click subscribe. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd, TikTok, it's all in that video description and down below. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. For more things related to movies, TV, the Oscars, and popcorn culture, I'm Luke Carefield, and I'll see you next time.